Hey everybody, welcome back. Hopefully you're joining me when this show goes live on Sunday, each and every Saturday and Sunday, bringing you our Cabral house calls where we answer all of your community's questions or all of our community's questions each and every Saturday and Sunday. Love being able to see what's going on in the community and how I might be able to help in any way. So this, as I always say, is me opening up a giant Word document, although I use a Mac, so on Pages document, of all of the questions that have come in over the last few months. And what I do is I simply answer them in the order that they come in. So today we're starting with questions from 623. So if we do the math, let's see where we're at right now. This show is debuting. It's episode 2424 if you want to read along with the questions. StephenCabral.com/2424. That's fun. So you can check that out right now and read along with the questions if you'd like. This one's debuting 3 months later on 9/25. So we are 12 weeks behind. That seems to be about right for us, 12, 13 weeks. So I just want you to know that any question that you need answered faster, I would definitely reach out to CabralSupportGroup.com with a health-based question. And if it's an order-based question, support@equa.life. Okay. Let's get into it. Alicia is up first, and it says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I hope you're doing well. My question is about Adrenal Soothe supplement. I learned from your podcast that it's best to take it at night or at lunch and then again after dinner. My highest stress is always in the morning and first half of the day. Is it okay to take Adrenal Soothe with breakfast? Or would that slow me down too much and make me feel a bit sluggish during the busiest time of my day? Big thank you for your amazing work." Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate that. So how Adrenal Soothe is typically used, it's used two to 3 capsules with dinner. That's how most people use it, okay? So what does it do? Well, it contains phospholyserine, it contains ashwagandha, it contains L-theanine. So it contains products that naturally knock down cortisol levels. And if you knock down cortisol levels, well, then you're going to be less stressed and you're going to be able to get into a deeper level of sleep, right? So that's the goal. However, when someone runs what's called the stress mood and metabolism test, and they have elevated levels of cortisol all day long, well, all bets are off because we're working on a bio-individuality-based issue, meaning like this person as an individual has high cortisol levels all day long. So what do? Well, we can do 2 capsules at breakfast, 2 capsules at lunch, and 2 capsules at dinner. And that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that. Now, Alicia's saying, I have my highest stress in the morning. All right. And she's worried like, hey, will it make you too sluggish? Well, what it does is if you're really amped up, it just helps bring you back down to normal. They're adaptogens. It helps you bring down a baseline. So what I would recommend is this. You could do 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, and 2 at dinner, or 2 to 3 at dinner, depending on how your sleep is at night. Then if you feel like, well, it's not quite enough for me, I feel like I need more. Okay, then you could try 2 at breakfast, but you'll have already known after using it for 3 to 5 days whether you need to use more. So you can always start with less and then add more as needed. Hopefully that's helpful. And then Alicia, I always recommend complementing it with something like full spectrum magnesium, because your body will use magnesium to calm the sympathetic nervous system, and those herbs will work specifically on the cortisol as well. All right? All right, and full spectrum magnesium can be used 1, 2, or 3 capsules at a time, depending on what you need. Anonymous is up. Anonymous says, are there any herbs, supplements, etc. that you know that definitely cause miscarriages? Not simply herbs or supplements that are recommended to not use during pregnancy out of caution, but herbs or supplements that have an extremely high correlation and possible causation with miscarriages specifically. Okay, Anonymous, I don't know what the question, I know the question is specifically asking, do I know anything that definitively causes miscarriages? And so my honest opinion is no, I don't know of any herb or supplement that causes miscarriages at all. But like you said, cautionarily, I do not have women use any herbs in my practice while pregnant. And that is simply because it could potentially lead to an earlier term pregnancy, and we don't want that. So that's what I do. And so no, I don't know specifically any herbs. I've never even heard of an herb that would cause a miscarriage. I just know that we don't use herbs during pregnancy. Okay. Angela's up next. Angela says, my 22-year-old daughter was diagnosed with Planitis when she was 10. Which is a disease of the eye that is characterized by inflammation of the narrowed area between the colored part of the eye and the choroid. As the condition advances, cataracts, retinal detachment, floating spots, blurred vision, dark spots, macular edema may develop. She has been seeing one of the best doctors at Emory Children's Hospital in Atlanta. She gets steroid injections and or a cryo procedure done once or twice a year. Her doctor had always predicted that she would grow out of this in her early 20s, but that's not happening. Her doctor is now recommending that she start either Humira or methotrexate, which is what I'm taking. I was diagnosed with RA in 2004, and she was tested for that recently as well, but found that she does not have RA. I've been following you for several months now. I've done the 21-day detox, ran the big 5 labs, plus the stool test, had my 2-hour consult last month with one of your IHPs, and I'm working through all of my protocols now. The last thing I want is for her to get on these meds, which I'm trying to desperately get off of. Just wondering if you have knowledge of this and what you recommend. Well, I have some knowledge of this. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at all in this area. I would certainly not do that. But I've worked with so many eye-based issues, skin-based issues, and inflammatory issue, which is what this is as well. So what can I tell you? What I would say is, again, this is something I look at as a serious health-based condition. And again, I cannot provide you with any medical advice, medical diagnosis, treatment plans, or medical cures. What I do is exactly what you did. I ran the big 5, okay? And then I run the bacteria and parasite stool test. I do this for all autoimmune-based issues. And the reason is that every autoimmune issue has an underlying root cause. So much so that conventional medicine even admits it now. And I'm going to give you a podcast to check out. You probably already did, but it came out about a week or 2 ago. And it was called The Root Causes for Autoimmune Disease. It was episode 2407. I've done many, many shows on autoimmune disease. I'll probably do a course on autoimmune disease in the future. But the bottom line is this. Autoimmune diseases, almost every single one, there is an issue with gut permeability. Antibiotics were taken earlier in life, again, there's so many other factors: alcohol, birth control, stress, poor food combinations, food sensitivities, glyphosate, etc. But that's what we need to do. So we need to get rid of the heavy metals in the body. We need to shore up the gut, get rid of the parasites, get rid of the candida, get rid of the bacterial overgrowth, get rid of the H. pylori, seal up the gut wall. All right, that's first and foremost. We need to reduce stress levels. I know easier said than done, but for me, if you combine stress and you combine gut issues, it's a recipe for autoimmune. So now you have the genetic factors, so that's obviously, so do I. I also had this when I was younger. I don't anymore. So I know there's hope for you, and I know there's hope for your daughter. Hopefully you don't have to be on these biological drugs for too much longer. But that is exactly what I would do. 21-day detox, just like you did it. You're doing it by the book. All right, by the book. 6 to 12 months. I know it's not overnight, but that's typically like, don't think it's going to change in a month, right? So we can, you've been on this now for 18 years. So if someone recently has autoimmune-based issues, 3 to 6 months, we might be able to help the person. For decade plus, yeah, it might take 4 to 6 months, maybe longer for harder cases, but you'll get there. No doubt about it. Keep on keeping on. All right, Mallory's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I thought of one more question to ask you after writing in last week. I done your mold protocol and I felt better fairly quickly. I do, however, still see biofilm in my stool every day after slowly detoxing for about a year now. Could what appears to be biofilm in my stool actually be resulting of something else, such as a supplement? Are you able to say if this is my body still detoxing? I've been getting what I believe are Herx-type reactions about once a month. I'm wondering if this is more likely because of detoxing too quickly, or if I'm just catching more colds because my immune system is down. I use GI Detox, which I realize is charcoal-based, as I heal, could my body become less sensitive to charcoal binders in general? Could you tell me if it's possible to heal from mold toxicity without any binders at all? Can citruscytal help? Lastly, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's shortly after I got my mold labs back. Have you seen individuals get rid of Hashimoto's by detoxing from molds? So sorry for all the questions. I understand you cannot give medical advice. Unfortunately, have not been able to get in touch with any other professionals that are experienced as you in my specific diseases. All right. Okay, well, happy to help. And I can tell you for sure, our EquaLife team can help you with this, and so can the Integrative Health Practitioner level 2s. What helps with mold? Okay, so what helps in the short term is the mold protocol. So typically people are doing the CBO protocol, then the mold protocol. But at the same time, they're doing things to boost the immune system, get their immune system back in better working order, because that's what's ultimately going to be able to eradicate the mold from your body. You certainly want to shore up your gut function. There's no doubt about that. That's why we a lot of times do the CBO protocol. Are you seeing biofilms every day in your stool for a year? I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but unlikely. It's unlikely. It could be, I don't know the products you're taking. Like I just don't know everything that you're taking. Is it something in the supplements that is a coagulant, it's almost like a gel substance, which is very possible. If you're using gelatin-based capsules, maybe you're seeing the gelatin actually, it's so rare that would happen, but it's certainly possible. So let me move to the next part of your question on Hashimoto's. Well, Hashimoto's is, again, an autoimmune issue. So most likely it has its roots in a gut-based dysfunction, food sensitivity, heavy metal, HPA axis, adrenal-based issue, stress, and potentially more. So we always work under the same exact way. I would absolutely run the Big Five plus the bacteria and parasite stool test if you're able to. If not, run the starter kit plus the stress, mood, and metabolism, and really get to work right away on all the imbalances. Because again, Hashimoto's is multifactorial. I mean, it really is. There's not one thing for Hashimoto's. Actually, recently I did a podcast for Hashimoto's, and I'll share that with you right here. That was episode 2407, but also I did one specifically on iodine. Let's see here. Well, if I ever can't find a show, what I would do, there it is, it's 2391. But you can always ask for shows too if you can't find them at cabralsupportgroup.com. All right, so 2391 and then 2407 are your first podcast to check out. And then I have a whole course on how to heal your thyroid. And that's at stephencabral.com/courses. All right, so hopefully that was helpful, Mallory. Last question of the day. I think it's the last question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not so fast. This is the fifth question. All right. So this is from Jenna. Jenna's saying, I'm writing on behalf of my mom who's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and it's mainly concentrated on her leg muscles. They are constantly achy, especially at night, and hurt even more when she lies down on them. It's like the nerves are sensitive to any pressure. She has done 2 labs through Equilife and HTMA and an Omega. The HTMA shows calcium and magnesium through the roof and elevated mercury. She has amalgams but won't get them out. The Omega test was normal. She supplements. What's your next step in this scenario? All right, great question. So there are many things when you have fibromyalgia. So by the way, I had fibromyalgia from about 17 years old to about 24 years old. Wasn't fun. Mine was mainly in my abdomen, sometimes my legs, but mainly my abdomen and a little bit in my elbow, and et cetera. But anyway, fibromyalgia is real. They didn't think it was real 30 years ago. But certainly it is. It's just difficult to pinpoint, and it can move. Why can it move? Well, it's really an inflammatory disorder. So fibromyalgia is basically saying someone has an inflammatory issue that's affecting a lot of times the soft tissue of the body. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means it has an underlying root cause. So if it has an underlying root cause, what's the underlying root cause? Mine was my immune system was imbalanced, namely my adrenal-based issues, and I had to fix those. So I fixed that along with my gut, and then I got rid of my fibromyalgia. So we need to figure out what's causing your mom's fibromyalgia: food sensitivities, poor diet, detox, metals. She clearly has a calcium magnesium imbalance. Whoever you worked with on that, so again, it should be an Equilife coach, they would have told you if magnesium supplementation is warranted, because if so, that could greatly help this issue. But again, I can't comment on a lab that I never saw. So I want to share that with you. I'm glad that she's supplementing with omegas. If she's able to do a 21-day functional medicine detox, maybe that would be a great place to get started. I want to make sure that she is moving her body. I know it's difficult sometimes, but get her walking a little bit, work on circulation. And there's so much that she could do. She could use circulatory-based herbs, maybe like a cayenne. Again, I can't make that recommendation because I don't know if she's on blood thinners, right? She could use things like ginger tea. So there's so much that she could do. So keep on down the path. Keep exploring. Use an infrared sauna. Go to stephencabral.com/resources for all those recommendations that I use as well. All right. So hopefully that's helpful. All right. Last question's from Stephen with a V. Hey, Doc, what are your thoughts on AquaPure? Apparently, it uses regular tap water and a small amount of salt to create a powerful cleaning solution that removes pesticides, bacteria, and contaminants. It claims to get rid of more than 99% of pesticides, but not sure if this is legit. I actually never heard of AquaPure. I usually don't look things up on the show just because I just want to be fair to everybody, but it's our last question of the day. I'm looking up AquaPure right now, and Oh, it's a water filtration system. You know what? I'm going to do a water filtration system in the future. So please do wait for that. I will look into AquaPure, no doubt about it. So I'll look into that and look at toxicity levels or if it's clean or what goes into it. For all my water filters that I use right now in my life, head on over to stephencabral.com/resources. Stephen, I have not forgot about this question. I will follow up with you. I'll do a show on water filters. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in today. Take care. Check in tomorrow on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Talk with you then.